What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another freaking 1,000 pounds best friend video. Nonetheless though, shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel. Now let's see how this episode goes, because episode 1 was definitely interesting.
Is about you proved it to yourself.
Yeah.
So it's been 6 months. Let's see where you are now.
When I first saw Dr. Proctor, my weight was 446 pounds. Last time I seen him, I was only 427.
420.
He gave me the goal to get under 400 pounds, but I've spent most of the time since ignoring my diet. So getting up on the scale today, I'm nervous. I've f***ed up so much.
441.6.
So last time she saw Dr. Proctor, she was only 427 pounds. Only. And now she's 400 and what? And then she went up to 447. But I like the way she said that she was only. But I guess that's just a mindset situation, right? I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? But obviously now she's at 441. So she's made no progress whatsoever. Something that obviously we wasn't surprised about, because in the last episode, we saw her attitude towards food. And we also saw her attitude to Megan, when Megan obviously lost weight the first time round, and how she was unhappy about it. How she was kind of like annoyed because, you know, she was like, why did she have to do it? You know what I mean? Because it puts her in a position where she feels like, I gotta do it too. Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I'm going to say this now. Obviously, the idea after this meeting here with the doctor is for her to go off and obviously do better to, you know, do better with her health. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I don't see it happening. I mean, she's so mentally dark in her own head. Boy, it's going to be one hell of a challenge. But anyway, let's see what happens next.
But then I started realizing my grandfather died at 51. My mother died at 51. I'm already 42, fixing to be 43 years old. That only gives me 7 years.
If that, Vanessa. If that. If you don't figure out a way to do this, you're not going to be around a whole lot longer.
I know.
The risks of remaining obese and getting larger and having your health deteriorate, you know, first comes immobility, bed sores, you know, problems with their respiration and so forth. Vanessa's early mortality rate, or her chances of dying before becoming an old lady, about 80%.
So let's just process for a second there that when it comes to her own family tree, a lot of people have died at the age of 51. She's nearly at the age of 51 in a couple of years. And of course, she needs to turn her life around, because to be honest with you, I'd be surprised if she actually does make it to 51, you know, based on the way she treats her body, and also based on the way she treats her mental mind, because she's got a big challenge ahead of her, and that is both physically and mentally. And the mental challenge is definitely going to be her hardest one of them all, because without conquering the mental challenge, the physical challenge is going to be pretty much a myth, to be honest with you. But hey, the fact is though, let's not forget, Vanessa is very good at saying all the things that's needed to be said, but it doesn't mean that she's actually going to put them into play. Why? Because of the mental battle. But hey, man, let's see what happens next. Because let's not forget though, she did bring her son to the doctors with her, because she wants to hopefully help her son not become what she is. Well, yeah, well, he kind of already is like her, overweight. But yeah, he wants to save her. Yeah, she wants to save her son. Yeah.
466. All right, have a seat. Vanessa, you look upset.
That's scary.
You know what though? I did not see that coming. He weighs more than his mother, and he's only 18 years of age, ladies and gentlemen. 466 at the age of 18. Tammy Slayton was 500 pounds at age 20. He's not far off at all. The question is though, is he going to be able to turn his life around as long as he's living in the same household as his mother? Because the fact is, and also his aunt, to be fair, because the matter of fact is, I feel sorry for the boy, man. I feel sorry for him, because he's gonna have a lot of obstacles, because, you know, he's gonna need to rely on his mum buying the food that is needed. You know what I mean? Then he's also gonna have to rely on, like, I don't think that is just the main thing, isn't it? Relying on that mum is always buying the right stuff for me to eat. And also maybe even joining some sports clubs, you know what I mean, okay? Whether that be basketball, American football, even UK football, you know what I'm saying, okay? Or something else, I don't know, track and field, swimming, whatever. But boy, man, 18 years of age and that's the way it is. Nah, man, that ain't right. That ain't right, man. Oh, damn. But he's 18 now. Obviously, this has been a parental damage, of course, you know what I mean? Vanessa bringing all that food and XYZ, but he's 18. Still needs guidance from his mother without a shadow of a doubt. But he's gonna have to start picking himself up as well at the same time. I only say that because as a man, as you know, we some of us, depending on our lifestyle, some of us have to start picking ourselves up at the age of 14, 15, 16. Do you know what I mean? But that also depends on obviously who you are as a person, of course. But hey, boy, that's dangerous, man. Let's get into it.
I mean, 441 is bad. What I weigh is bad, and I'm a 40-year-old woman. But to be almost 500 pounds at 18 years old, baby, that's bad.
I knew already I was like a little overweight. I didn't know I was that much overweight. It was me being lazy that really pushed me back and put me in this hole. That's why
I really hope that all this energy that Vanessa's putting into crying and being emotional about her son's health, I really hope that she's actually going to use that energy to do better for herself as well as her son. Because the fact is, though, we know that she's good at saying what's needs to be said, crying when it needs to be crying. You know what I mean? Because, well, if it's the narrative at the time, but what matters the most is what fits the narrative, and the narrative isn't there. Meaning that didn't really make sense. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people behave based on the narrative, but don't based on creating the right narrative. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like right now, they're in the hospital, okay? They've just seen the doctor. So of course, the narrative, okay, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna get sad because I've seen numbers, blah, 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 blah. But when you're outside of this, when you're at home and whatnot, what narrative are you creating? Are you creating a narrative that is healthy, or are you creating a narrative that is unhealthy and toxic? But let's not forget though, Vanessa is also a very toxic person as well. We've seen that last episode towards Megan, and we can't imagine what. We saw that against Megan, and we also saw that against her sister as well. But the difference is though, between her sister and Megan, her sister can actually give it back to Vanessa. Megan can't. You know what I mean? Which is why Megan has to get away from Vanessa even more. And also, this is why Vanessa obviously has to move out of her sister's home, because there's always going to be that tick for tack. And we already know from last episode, her sister did say that when Vanessa goes on a diet, she expects everyone else to do it with her. And if everyone else doesn't do it with her, then she would then self-sabotage herself because no one else wants to do it with her. And obviously, we know that as long as she lives in her sister's household, her sister isn't going to support her because she doesn't need to. Because this is a single person's journey. This isn't a family journey, this is a single person journey because you're now an adult. But Vanessa processing that is a bit of a challenge. Oh boy, that was a lot. Yeah. Oh well, let's get into it.
that's why I came to see him, is to try and find a way.
Yeah, we're trying to ward off a lifetime of misery, okay? We're trying to head that off right now. You're young, you can make some massive changes. You can erase this before it ever happens. So Jacob just weighed in at 466 pounds. At his young age, this is a terrible trajectory for him to be on. This doesn't tend to get better. This tends to get worse. I want you guys to be around a long time for each other, all right? And I want you to start motivating each other through this, okay? Vanessa, your goal remains the same. I want to see you drop below 400 pounds. We don't even hint about going to the operating room unless you're going to show me that you're going to do your part on this.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone... And that is realistically the bottom line. Vanessa had to show the doctor that she deserves to be on that operating room. And that is a long way from now. Yes, a long way. And let's not forget though, we've also got Ashley, the girl, the friend that also did lose weight, then had a surgery, but then put the weight back on again. And she isn't exactly the most supportive person either. And then you got Tina. I mean, Tina, you know what? Yeah. I'm just going to leave that one alone for yeah, whatever.
Seeing Jacob's weight has motivated me more than anything. All these other past times with Dr. Proctor, I never took it seriously. Now, it's my child. My child lives by what I live by. If I start eating better, start losing weight, I go on a big diet, he'll do it with me. Mama's stepping up now.
Okay, some people may view what she said somewhat as a good thing. Some of us may view it as somewhat of a bad thing. I'm going to view it as somewhat of a bad thing. Because seeing my son's weight is now what's going to make me step up. First and foremost, Vanessa always looks for exterior motivation. Problem number one, because that's what she's done here. Two, there is no way she should have waited for her son to be obese For her to want to say, do you know what? Let me turn my life around. And you notice how she made it about herself and not necessarily about her son. She said, seeing Jacob's weight has made me want to turn my life around. It wasn't even a case of seeing my son's weight has made me realize how selfish I've been to myself as well as my son, most importantly. And now it's important that more than ever, I take this weight loss journey seriously for my son. Okay? So therefore I can help him, do better. But no, it's, now we can do it together, we can, him seeing him and now we can do it together and we can lose weight together and we can support one another. That may sound like, all right, but trust me when I tell you, in my opinion, that's not the norm because it proves what's been happening this whole time. It proves what her sister said. Her sister flat out said that Vanessa only does a diet if other people will do it with her. So basically she's using her son. She's legit using her son as an anchor to why she's going to do her journey. So here's the thing though, if she then doesn't lose weight, who does that affect the most though? But that's the problem. Who does it affect the most? It affects them both the same because it means both her and son are both gaining weight. But in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about traumatic experiences. This is going to affect her son even more in terms of his trauma moving forward. But he's only 18 years of age. She's in her 40s. It's called now taking responsibilities for your actions. So therefore, you are a good role model for your child. But no. Jesus Christ, man. I dislike this woman. Man. I said this the last episode. Vanessa's going to be more disliked than Tammy Slay, and I said it flat out, man. Listen, I'm already there. I feel like I'm already there, I'm not going to lie to you. Because she's got children, you see. It makes it different. Tammy doesn't have children. You know what I mean? So when she does things to herself, it's only affecting herself. This woman right here, though, she's got 2 kids. Both of them overweight. But the one that's 18, and the thing is, if the one that's 18 can be saved now, then that means the one that's younger can be saved. Jesus Christ. The family tree, eh?
Water slide will definitely take our exercise to the whole next level. Woo! I know my body. If I gotta go up that many stairs, I gotta rock it out. Every step I take, I'm looking at my feet like, come on, bitch. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Let's just take one more step, one more step, one more step. You got this right behind you. Oh, God. You're good, babe. Excuse me, ma'am. 350? Because I'm like 441. I can't ride it. I'm out. Sorry about that.
You know what? This is just a hump in the road.
This is the most embarrassing thing in the world to go back.
We come back another time, and we will conquer this with you.
It's just motivation, babe. I can't believe it. I finally got my ass in gear, and I started dieting again. Walked up all these stairs, and I can't even get on a water ride because of my weight.
Vanessa. The drama queen. I mean, first and foremost, I do find it quite interesting that at the beginning of the stairs, at the bottom, it should have actually said the height. Oh, no, it usually says the height and the weight required, you know what I mean, to go down the slide. So to be fair, it's quite interesting how they walked all the way up to find out that information at the top. Interesting. But nonetheless, right now, they are actually at a water park, okay, filled with tons and tons of children. And as they walked into this water park, everybody has been looking at them. Sadly, for obvious reasons, for stereotypical reasons, because they're 4 large women, well, obese women, to be fair, to be more accurate. But hey, let's see if the others can go down the water slide, eh? But yeah. I'm a bit speechless right now. Yeah.
Like a complete failure. Oh God, why did I even come back? Why did I put myself out here? Oh God, that's horrible. That's the most embarrassing thing in the world.
Vanessa now cares about being embarrassed. Well, at least now she's been honest. I mean, like, she has this attitude of like, I don't care who you are. I'll do this, I'll do that, blah, 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 you know, all that loud dramatic things, acting like she doesn't give a shit about anyone else's opinion. I mean, I feel like, but it's hard though, because I don't know if she actually is embarrassed or she's just saying it. You know what I mean? But if she is, then at least she's been honest for once. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, I feel like she sugarcoats a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? So it is kind of interesting to hear her finally say something that isn't sugarcoated, but at the same time, though, how genuine is what she's saying? Yeah, But okay.
Slide. I didn't realize how weak my back was because as I was going down, I got thrown back and I couldn't sit up, but I felt like I was living for the first time in a long time. I was terrified because I was going all over that slide. So by the time I hit the water, I was thankful to God that I had made it. All right, you about to go drown. Oh my God. There are so many mixed emotions that I'm going through. Heart racing. Here goes nothing. Coming to the water park, why didn't I change my hair? So many emotions. Thank you, God, that I did not drown.
So the good news is that with the rest of the friends, Jesus. So the good news is that with the rest of the friends, obviously with Megan, Tina, and Ashley, they were actually able to go down the water slide. Okay, so it was good for them. You know, I mean, a good little fun experience. Obviously, Megan discovered that her back obviously gave in a little bit, so she needs to do a little bit more back exercises. You know, the whole shebang. Cool. So it was nice. It was nice to see them have fun. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Vanessa on the other hand is feeling a certain type of way. But anyway, let's proceed and see what happens next.
I just feel like that's another letdown, another blow to my
But it's not.
ego. It is.
But did you see those stairs? Did you see how you got on them and went up? And you walked back down them. I had to. I had no choice.
But you need to let it motivate you. These need to be goals, not setbacks.
And that is facts. That is pure facts. See, this has goals, not letdowns. 100%. Let this motivate you. Absolutely. But at the same time, though, let's not forget, though, that the other ladies here, especially Ashley and Tina, because they haven't really spoken too much about them two going on a weight loss journey, to be fair with you. I really don't know if they're actually even going to do that. I feel like maybe they're just a part of the TV show just to make it 1,000 pounds best friend, you know what I mean? Just have 4 big women, you know what I mean? Just for TV purposes, entertainment purposes. Because to be honest with you, I see them talking all the time, Ashley and Tina, but that's as far as it goes. Any scene that we've seen of exercise has been with just Megan and Vanessa. So yeah, I do question, the real purpose behind the extra 2 being on this show, if you dig what I'm saying. But hey, let's get into it.
I would not want to.
Yeah, right.
For individuals that are at higher weights, such as Megan and Vanessa, it's super important to figure out the foods that you love and feel you can't live without and find a good alternative. So I hope that today I can kind of assess their blind spots, their guilty pleasures, and I'll meet up with them afterwards to check in and see how they did.
And you know what, though? Obviously, I couldn't have said any better myself. That right there, that lady is the nutritionist, from what I understand. And I like what she said, because that's what I've always said for myself in particular, and anyone that's ever asked for my opinion. That at the end of the day, it's a matter of finding foods that you do and don't like. You know what I mean? But obviously, within a healthy. It's about finding foods that you do like in a healthy setting. Do you know what I mean? But I will say this though. I don't know what video. I think it was the 1,000 Pound Sisters episode 1, season 1 episode that I did the other day, and somebody in the comment section said, what did they say again? Something about priorities. You know what I mean? It's about that's it. That it's healthier. Like, you could go to McDonald's and buy a burger, but it's always going to be healthy to actually make that burger at home. Do you know what I mean? So, understand this, that, fast food is obviously very unhealthy, but you can still have fast food at home, but homemade stuff, which will always still be healthier than going out to the actual, you know what I mean? But let's not forget though, people can become overweight by making homemade stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people who love to make their own stuff, make it how they want to make it, and still can become overweight. But how do you fix that? Well, that's then making things within your own calorie deficit, right? But at the same time though, going back to this episode here right now, but the nutritionist is saying they need to go in and find the foods that they do like, obviously within a health aspect. I think that's what it is. That is just a grand scheme of things when it comes to food. It's a matter of finding foods that you do like, okay, that are both healthy and unhealthy, but finding how you can also prepare them yourself, so therefore they can be healthier than going and buying them already made or from a fast food restaurant. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you learn to make your own food, you might also learn to actually eat within your own calorie deficit, because when you go and order a meal's gonna come in whatever calorie it comes in. It's already set. Do you see what I'm saying? But when you make your own meals, you are making it within your own calorie deficit. Do you know what I mean? You're adding the amount of sugars that you like, the amount of sugars that you need, or salt that you need, oils you need, all that kind of stuff. You're in control, you know. And I feel like it's like, for me personally, you know, I don't have fast food like legit ever. I barely go to eat. Everything that I eat is literally made, you know what I mean, okay, from the scratch. So it's easier for me to identify how much I need to eat of rice, how much I need to eat of salmon or mackerel or an omelette, you know what I mean, whatever it could be. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, because I'm doing it myself. So let's just put that into perspective as well. Okay, it's not just about finding the healthy foods that you need. No, it's not about finding the healthy food that you like, but it's also, can you start to make your own meals, but making them within a certain calorie deficit so you don't make, because obviously there are people who make too much. We've seen in 600-pound life episodes where some of these guys, they have their parents who just give them like a shitload of food. You know what I mean? It's consistent. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. I hope I made sense. I feel like I just kind of over explained that, to be fair. I think I might have lost my point. Yeah. Oh well, I hope you got it anyway. Let's proceed.
I mean, we gotta be healthy, right?
Oh God, what about kind of a brupper is what we call it, breakfast for supper. Cut your ham, eggs, little cheese crisps, and then put your whole egg on top. And then when you cut everything, it all runs with your cheese. You have ham and cheese eggs with a little crisp because of the cheese crisp.
All that salt and stuff in it is not good for you.
Okay.
Oh, stuffed olives.
So they go out, me and a nutritionist, told to go find healthy stuff, and this is what Vanessa comes up with. Okay, great.
Just spinach.
That's okay, but always look at the ingredients, and you'll see here it says dehydrated powdered spinach, 1.9%.
Holy crap, that's only got 1.9.
Yes, exactly. So this was the best choice, right?
All right, what about tortillas? When you get the spinach or the tomato?
It is mostly a color change more than any kind of nutritional change.
Wow. Just because it's got a picture of a vegetable on the cover does not mean it's like that. They know that people want to eat healthy. They give you the illusion that you're eating healthy. In the meantime, you're packing on the pounds and not realizing it.
So out of this basket, what is something that you felt really confident buying that was for sure a healthy choice?
Olives.
30 calories for 2 olives. It's a little bit high, but the issue is going to be the blue cheese.
Okay, I'm sorry. Regular olive might be a better alternative.
A better alternative.
I like them in the salad.
Could you put them in your tater salad?
Well, a potato salad would get you a lot of carbs, a lot of calories, right? So actually, have you explored cauliflower as an alternative?
No, I have not. But you know what? Hello Thanksgiving.
That's right, exactly.
I'm not afraid of a vegetable. So throw me some cauliflower. I mean, I guess it really just how you cook it.
How do you feel about maybe using like a Greek yogurt as a substitute?
Does it have the same kind of flavor profile as mayonnaise? I don't know about whole Greek yogurt. That is iffy to me. Yogurt instead of mayonnaise.
Oh.
How about we go inside together?
Do I say I'm excited about tasting it? No, because I've never in my life heard of those ingredients mixed together.
I can't. Ugh.
So how many carbs a day I can have?
Carbs a day post-bariatric surgery is 50 to 80.
I'm just starting a diet, so I need to have lower, right?
No, about the same. So you can practice the same. That way you're ready for life after.
How about calories? 12 to 1,500.
I really don't know how I'm going to be able to stick to this diet.
It definitely is not easy. Yeah, you're going to miss the bread.
Yeah. I can't eat 90% of that. You know,
Let's remember though, each time Vanessa fails, she loves to blame her sisters as well. I mean, like when she fails, there's always, it's not just her fault. Remember that. It's always other people's fault. But yet she doesn't actually acknowledge that when she's being given support, all she does is try and find a way. She likes to look for loopholes, for hacks. You know what I mean? Of how you can make unhealthy, how you can make something healthy unhealthy, or how you can make something unhealthy healthy. Now you can make things healthy, the things that are unhealthy healthy, to be fair, give or take. You can do that, but yeah, it's just, that's just not the mindset you should be going with at this moment in time. The mindset that you should be going with right now is, okay, what have I got to do to lose this weight? But hey, she is due to see a therapist though. I'm excited to see obviously how that goes, because that's where she really needs to be the most, Vanessa, seeing a therapist.
I cannot wait till the day that I don't have to have a potty chair. After seeing Dr. Proctor and the nutritionist, I want to push myself. I want to get on the right track. I want to do this damn thing for myself, but not only that, so that Jacob can see me, because I do not want him going down the same path I went down. Hey guys, I got.
She's got a potty chair in her own bedroom. I don't care. Just call me judgmental. Say, how dare you do that? Boy, guess what though? You're not supposed to be in a potty chair, okay, as an adult. The only time you go into as an adult is if you have things that you actually cannot prevent. You know, something's happened to you that you couldn't prevent, you know what I mean, or out of your control. This right here, she did it to herself. She did it to herself. She put herself in this position. Oh, come on, man. What? I'm just happy that I've eaten my pre-workout meal already. Otherwise, god damn, oh my god, I would have been going to the gym hungry, man. Oh god damn. No, man. Oh.
A day that I can wake up, not piss myself, just wake up and go to the bathroom normally, not have to powder myself. If I don't powder up in the morning, then I end up with fungus, rashes, and nasty things happen. Jacob, come on there. Where y'all at? We're in here, Vanessa. Oh my God, that looks amazing, but I mean, I can't eat 90% of that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know I'm trying to stick to my diet. I want you to be happy. I'll be happy when I'm healthy. Anytime I try to start a diet, eat healthy, any of that, my sister always has to bring in her fattening foods. And this has been going on throughout my whole life. And I feel like if I...
Yo, legit, her sister ain't cool for that. Her sister isn't cool for that. This time, I got your back, Vanessa. You know, we can blame your sister right now. They ain't cool. Because the fact is, but I did say this though, earlier in the episode, I did flat out say this, that she needs to leave her sister's house because it's too toxic for her, okay? She's got a kid, okay, who's 466 pounds. Like, come on, nah. She needs to get out of her kids. But here's the thing though, she can't afford it. But that's the thing that I do find quite interesting, you know, like, can't say, well, no, that's not really how it works. I don't know what Vanessa needs to do, but she needs to go and get a job or something, and she needs to get her and her kids out of that house, point blank, period. Okay, because the fact is though, she can't continue to stay living in that house and still keep complaining that it's her sister's fault, because at the end of the day, how do you get rid of the problem? Easy. You get rid of the problem. Like you move away. Like, you know, you flee, whatever. So, well, I say easy. I know it's not easy to leave, to move out when you haven't got the money, right? But I'm just saying that something needs to be done. But I do find it quite interesting that both Megan and Vanessa, both of them actually live, like Megan lives in Tina's house in the basement, and then she lives in his house. But yet they got food, they got money to go out for all these food things and whatnot. I do find that quite interesting. Not the unhealthy stuff. I'm talking about like, yeah, okay, whatever, yeah. But yeah, no, she needs to bounce. She should grab her kids and go, because boy, sister don't give a shit.
Fail. You gotta be realistic about it, Vanessa. Are you not ever gonna eat donuts again? Maybe in a few years when I get the weight down and I get myself where I'm supposed to be, I'll revisit. I just don't like a person that's on a diet needs to still eat things that they like. You can't just say, I love to eat donuts, I'm not ever gonna eat donuts anymore. I love my sister. I want to support her. I could have brought back some salads. You know, I don't know who's going to eat them, but she wouldn't have been happy with that. She would have fussed at me about that too. If she would just eat the damn donuts, she would be okay. She wouldn't be so grouchy all the time. That's what it is. She's hungry. It's like a drug addict getting off their drug, but you going to keep bringing it in the house? They're going to want to do it. They're going to want to touch it. I'm going to want to eat it. I'm going to want to see it. I want it over and over so bad. I can't. I'm an adult turkey. Jackie is skinny. She can eat biscuits. She can eat fried food. She can eat chocolate. She can eat anything. She don't gain any weight. I eat it. I look at it, and I'm gaining the weight. Right now, I'm asking you, stop bringing fatty foods in the house. Stop bringing anything unhealthy in the house. Stop. You're killing me. You're killing me.
Her sister's straight up evil. Straight up evil. Nothing else but that.
I know I always tell you to call me, so I'm calling you because I'm really out there.
No. What are you doing?
I'm having a little bit of a snack.
Ooh, what is that? Is that potatoes or cauliflower?
It's potato salad.
Megan.
I just don't think living on salad is sustainable, nor do I think living on just meat for the rest of my life is sustainable either. It's really difficult to maintain yourself just on salads and meat because I'm a picky fat girl. I'm definitely not a carnivore, and I'm not a rabbit.
If we don't make a major change, then we're not going to get any progress.
Here's what I've been doing. Eat from every fridge in the house.
Oh my Lord! And you still choose the potato salad while you're looking at that man?
Maybe a little.
Megan, I am disappointed. Megan calls Vanessa and says, hey, I'm having something that I shouldn't be having. That doesn't help, does it? I don't know if Megan's ever going to lose any more. I don't know if Megan will lose any more weight, to be honest with you. I feel like she's hit that plateau now. I really don't know. I feel like whatever motivation that she had in her the first time round in the episode of Too Large, that seems to have just disappeared now. Something's very off-key about Megan now, to be honest with you. I'm not even going to blame myself about it anymore, you know. I feel like I was being a bit too polite about her first episode, purely because she had lost some weight, and obviously, you know, she was a better character than Vanessa. But the grand scheme of things is that she hasn't done nothing really to show that she's really wanting to lose that weight anymore, okay? She's really not showing that, to be honest with you. She's giving me very comfortable vibes. You know, vibes where it's okay to complain a little bit, but not to the extent of where I'm actually going to do better. Does that make sense? So, yeah, I'm not too sure about Megan, to be honest with you. But remember, like I said, these two are a massive representation of Tammy and Amy, you know? And we all know what after Amy had her surgery and then, you know, had her kid, we all know since then, you know, her attitude to losing weight has been non-existent. But yeah, let's see.
I'm perfect. I don't need any help.
Yeah, okay. Me neither. That's why I got a bowl of potato salad right here.
I do not like therapists. You already know I don't trust therapists. I've opened up to them and they take what I open up about and use it against me. I feel like sometimes a therapist act like they know what they're talking about, but they've never lived a day in my shoes. So how could they? How can you trust somebody that's never had to walk through what you walked through? If you think that it would be helpful, you want me to go with you? But that don't mean I don't even want to, you know, probably not even talk to her.
I am sick and tired of people using that as a bloody... Oh my goodness gracious me. You know what though? That I won't lie, that is low-key triggering me because, you know, obviously I'm not a therapist, don't get it twisted, but obviously I get those same kind of comments sometimes in the comment section. I ain't gonna listen to you until you live the day in my shoes. Why the hell would I want to live a day in your shoes though? Hello? First and foremost, okay? And secondly, you are listening to me because you was kind enough to come into the video and leave that comment, so it means you listened to me for a little bit. But anyway, without the jokes, without the dramatics, the fact is this though. Let's just put this out here, right? Everybody has this perception that, not everybody, some people in this world have this perception that you can't help me unless you've lived a day in my shoes. But this is the thing though. Why do people have to live a day in your shoes to be able to understand you or to be able to relate to you? Yes, understand you, not necessarily. But here's the thing though, it's not necessarily even about being able to relate to you. It's not even about necessarily being able to understand you. It's mostly being about how to help you. If someone wants to help you, okay, they don't need to live a day in your shoes, okay? They don't even need to relate to you. They just need to be able to have the power to help you. How can they help you? Well, they can help you with whatever advice that they have. Now, obviously, if everyone's advice may be for you, or some of it may not be for you, but it's up to you how you want to utilize the advice someone gives to you. If somebody gives me advice today, I may not necessarily use it right now, but I'll definitely use it when it's needed, if that advice is something that can ever be used. Do you get what I'm saying? I would never, ever, and I've never, ever looked around and turned around and said to someone, listen, do you know what? Well, you know, you don't know what it's like to be me, blah, 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 blah. I've never said that. I've been like, okay, cool. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. And if I can use your advice, I will use it when obviously I'm ready, because at the end of the day, using advice sometimes is a matter of perspective. You have to be in the right perspective to be able to use someone else's advice. And that is just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Because like, come on, man. Like, really? And you know what? It is such a child thing to say as well. Such a child thing to say. And I tell you why. Because everybody done this. Has kids, especially the kids that misbehaved. Put your hand up. Has kids. There were times when you be frustrated, right? And your parents or even your teachers or your mentors, right, will look at will be speaking to you, saying to you, and they will tell you what you're doing is wrong or whatever. And as a kid, you will stand there or sit there and be like, you don't know what it's like to be me. Guess what though? That adult you're talking to, of course they know what it's like to be you because they were a kid before. They may not have been the same type of kid as you, but they do know because they were a kid before. That's why when people say you don't know what it's like to be me because you haven't walked in my shoes, you are freaking a child, man. Your mindset is a child mentality because that's the stuff that we say as children. But then when we grow up to become adults, we look back now, especially when I work, especially over the years I've been working with children, you know what I'm saying, okay? I look back now and I'm like, I'm teaching some of these kids, you know, when I was teaching, you know, I was like, damn, I'm about to tell this kid what my mom told me. I'm about to tell this kid what my teacher told me. Damn, oh my goodness gracious me. Well, at least when I said those things, I was a kid, right? Because I was still learning, you know what I mean? Like, come on now, at the end of the day, listen, do you know what it is? The fact is this, it's not about someone living in your shoes. It's about, does somebody actually want to help you? If somebody wants to take their time out of their day to help you, take that help. Of course, on a professional level, of course, you know, you're going to have to pay, but that's because that's someone's profession. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't even have to pay. But the fact is, if someone's willing to book you into a slot to help you, take it. If someone who's your friend or whatever wants to just take time to listen to you and give you some advice, take it. Not take it as in like take the advice, but like appreciate that shit. Instead of saying, but you don't know what it's like. You know, oh, but have you ever been addicted to food though? No. Oh, so you don't know what it's like. Have you been addicted to smoking? No. Oh, so you don't know what it's like. Have you been addicted to drinking? No. Oh, so you don't know what it's like. But why? Why? Does it upset people? Does it upset some people hearing someone else give them advice just because that person's never been in their shoes before? So you're telling me that somebody has to be overweight, somebody has to have an addiction to food for you to be, for you to listen to them? Why? To be honest with you, if it was me, I'd be looking at that person. I'd be like, you know what? I don't know how you avoided a food addiction, or I don't know how you controlled yourself. I don't know how you avoided a drinking addiction or a smoking addiction or whatnot. But whatever you did, I would actually really like to know and see if I can hopefully learn from it and hopefully use it to motivate me. That should be the perspective people should be using. But no, it's not. It's the other one, the negative one. It's the, oh, but you don't know what it's like to be in my negative headspace. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Just because somebody may not have walked in your shoes in terms of being addicted to food or to smoking or to drinking, it doesn't mean that they haven't had a journey of negativity. You know what I'm saying? I've had my own journey of negativity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, yo, I've got my own darkness in my own mind. But the matter of fact is, though, I'm not going to tell someone, oh, but you don't know what it's like to be me. Why? What do I learn from that? What do we learn from that? Okay? To be honest with you, like, honestly, if you come across, you know, I'm going way too much off script now. Okay, let's get back into it. I'm just saying, the matter of fact is, though, if someone's never been in your shoes, you should be asking yourself, okay, what did they do to avoid that? Maybe what they did can help me. Not, oh, they have to be in my shoes for them to help me. You can get help in both ways. You can get help from someone that's been in your shoes, and you can also get help from someone that hasn't been in your shoes. Point blank, period. That's what I should have said at the very beginning, but it took me a while to get there. But let's get into this madness. Vanessa, man, you trigger me so much. I dislike you. Yes, I do.
And I was abused, not physically, but mentally by him and his entire family. They would do horrible things to me and harass me. They were really good at making me feel like it's all my fault. It's all in my head. It's really sad to think about.
I mean, did you have the coping skills of talking to someone, or was food kind of how you comforted
I think
yourself?
that's how I comforted myself. At what cost? I would go out to eat, thank you, and sit in a parking lot by myself just so that I didn't have to be around that environment. During my 9-year marriage, I chose to probably eat my problems away because I was ashamed of what was happening to me. I probably gained almost 300 pounds.
As her friend, I noticed
That you was gaining?
I was a change in her, not only gaining weight, but that instead of her finding comfort in her parents and her family, she found comfort in food. But to me, it didn't seem so because my comfort was already in the food.
Great observation.
So
I'm just having this image in my head of you and food. If you could have a talk with food at that time in your life, what might you say to it?
I wish I knew how to get out of this. I'm not happy.
Where would you be without your friend food?
I would be alone.
Without you, I would be alone.
Yeah. It was the only thing that was bringing me a little bit of happiness.
You bring me happiness.
Oh, you taste really good.
Well, so maybe some
I'm trying to
pleasure.
make light of it.
Well, you'd be alone. You had no other pleasure in your life.
Yes.
So the relationship with food provided for you the things you weren't having in your real life. What would it be like for you if you found comfort in the progress that you've already made?
You know, honestly.
You know what? That doesn't make a lot of sense. That doesn't make a lot of sense. This is good, man. For me personally, it's quite insightful. You know what I mean? Because obviously, the therapist is asking questions about what happens if you had a conversation with that with the food, and that's such a very good freaking question, man. And it makes it so much more understandable. Okay, obviously, why people can fall into that trap of using food as a comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? Because that is just the grand scheme of things. So yeah, but deep shit, man, deep shit. But okay, let's get into it. But at the same time, though, this is something that she used at a time when she was at her worst because of a relationship. Now she's no longer in that relationship anymore. So it's a matter of, well, state the obvious. Okay, what do you have around you now that can be your comfort for conversation that isn't food? And we know that she's got her friends and she's also got her partner, the one that we barely see, but he's there. He's a fiance, right? So, you know, she has got newer things now to really help her. And we know that Megan has the strength because she did it before. It's just a matter of now continuing her journey of losing weight. You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, that's also going to come from taking people out of her life that don't help her progress. And one of those people may have to be Vanessa. Just saying.
What would it be like for you if you found comfort in the progress that you've already made?
You know, honestly, one of my things I'm struggling with right now is just still seeing the 500-pound person that I was, even though the scale says differently. I still haven't grasped it.
Full length mirror here, and you're looking in there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to her.
Okay.
I'm going to be her voice.
You should have done better by now.
I don't understand what you're saying. I've lost nearly 200 pounds. I don't understand.
Like, you should have lost a lot more by now.
I should?
Yeah,
Why
you should.
should I?
You're failing at this again. You're a failure.
Oh, I see it completely differently. I see what a tremendous amount of work I've done. I see living. What are you seeing?
I see disgust.
You're seeing disgust. What would happen if you saw what I saw?
I might love myself.
What would happen if you loved yourself?
I don't know.
I bet you don't know. I'm wondering if the stall is related to, I'm afraid to let the image of 500 pounds go.
Feel like I'm sabotaging myself?
Right?
Oh, that's deep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a problem letting my own self go. Not because I want to be her, but I feel bad for her. That's who I was for so long. She went through a lot.
What would happen if you saw yourself 200 pounds lighter? How willing are you to try to recognize the progress you've already made? I really want you to think about this. And I think recognizing that verbally to yourself would go a long way. Because
First and foremost, shout out to TLC for finally, and I mean finally, giving us an episode where we actually get like a deep dive into a therapy session. And obviously that stuff is private, but it's about time because, you know, at the end of the day, it becomes a learning curve for viewers, okay? For all viewers. It doesn't matter whether it's a viewer that's in the situation or out of the situation, okay? Because this is 100% a learning curve for myself in particular, watching a scene like this, you know, and seeing obviously, you know, the fundamentals of what is really going on or what has been going on in Megan's head, as well as obviously Vanessa and moving forward. So it's about time that we was given this because this is the content that TLC should be giving us, the learning channel. Right now, I am learning. Most of I ain't learning shit. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, this is very, very insightful. I was gonna say something, but now I bloody forgot. So let's just proceed. Hopefully I remember at some point. Yeah.
It was nice to see Dr. Stapleton help Megan, but now I'm scared to death to see like what closets are she going to open and have me look into, and I really don't know what she's going to uncover once we start talking. Big talker. I have massive trust issues when it comes to some therapists.
okay, I totally respect that.
No, I respect a lot of everything you're saying. I listen to the way you speak to Megan, and I understand that you're not wanting to do harm.
So how is your journey going, by the way? Just for my knowledge.
It's been a real struggle with seeing her accomplishments. I feel envious. I feel, well, she can do why can't I? And here I am just,
I was for a long time too, so
but my struggles at home are a little different than hers.
What's going on at home?
It's just hard living with my sister.
Oh, okay, so you're currently living together.
We have lived together basically our entire life. Like it's always been side by side.
Are you close?
Always. Oh, yes, extremely close. But she ain't supportive at all of me losing weight. She brings nothing but food in the house. She'll bring donuts and ice cream and pizza.
That's how she eats?
Yeah, but I feel like every time I go forward mentally with wanting to do the right thing, I get pushed back by my sister's choices, by stress arguing between me and her over me trying to make the right decisions.
Okay.
She tells me I'm a bitch when I tried to eat proper.
I suggest she get her own place. You can love your sister, but love her from a distance because it's very unhealthy there. I'm just worried she'll never do it.
What's the idea of not living together like for you?
Scary. I'm scared if I get by myself, she'll be alone. She won't have anybody. I've always put my sister's emotions above my own my entire life, always. Mm-hmm. And she's always done stuff like the grocery shopping, the cleaning.
So like I asked Megan, are you willing to at least consider and imagine that scenario? Because in order to really follow through with this lifestyle for the long haul,
Exactly.
it does require putting yourself first in some situations. It doesn't mean discarding the people you love.
Yeah.
Could you at least give that some consideration?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't sound like if you stay there, she's going to assist you.
I don't like the idea of moving out. And it is extremely scary, extremely hard, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to turn my world upside down.
Don't go back.
Next thing you know, you got legs in the air and arms.
Well, that is episode 2 done and dusted. Anyway, so just like last week, they leave us on the cliffhanger of Vanessa because they know Vanessa is the attraction of the show at this moment in time. So I guess we're going to wait until next week and see obviously what happens with Vanessa's therapy session. But in terms of obviously this episode this week itself in particular, it really and truly it was very insightful. Where obviously when it got to the end, to be honest with you, but you know, at the end of the day, going back to what I was saying before. Well, I said a lot of things in this video, but the matter of the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you can seek help from someone, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who they are, okay? It doesn't matter whether that person is walking your shoes or not. Help is help, support is support. At the end of the day, the best thing that we can ever do when someone is trying to advise us with anything is to just listen and be appreciative. We don't have to use the advice, you know what I mean? We don't have to apply the advice, but at the end of the day, let's not slap it back in their face, you know what I mean? If someone wants to give you advice, just say, okay, thank you for your advice. And then if you ever need to use that advice at some point in your life, hopefully you can use it. Because again, you can't always use advice that you're given instantly, because it's a matter of your perception at that time. If you don't have the perception at the time of using that advice, well, then you're not going to use advice, which is completely fine. But appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? Stop fighting everyone. People want to fight rather than appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the grand scheme of things, you know? But yeah, I really hope that obviously things can progress moving forward away from this episode here for Megan and Vanessa. But like I said before, even though we've had this insightful little ending, I still very, very unsure. No, I still don't see progression happening from neither of these women, to be honest with you. Or at least not this season anyway, to be honest with you. I think if anything, if there's going to be any progress, maybe it will be within season 2, if anything. But yeah, at this moment in time, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and peace.